Can't no part, all you know is kick back, run for me, back, get back, 911. Somebody's son did die, we need police on dispatch. You be with me, nigga, why is you mad? Come and get your bag, everything's on the, I'll be.
And I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on.
We'll talk to, I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
A young mother in Florida on body camera, and she'll later admit to engaging in sex acts with the family dog and more. I have the disturbing case out of Florida and what.
I'm just looking like, you really was getting cracked by a dog? Like, if I'm your husband, it's like, dang, you went and got the dog. The dog was hitting it. Like,
What else White told police? Samantha Lee White is a petite blonde from North Fort Myers, Florida, and she
petite is crazy. Like, why is it?
has a young child, which makes it really sad that she's on her way to prison, and she's going there for sex crimes against animals, specifically a dog. This case started in February 2024 when police and deputies went to her home with a search warrant. They were looking for electronic devices.
How do you even find that out?
Yeah.
Like, who tells you that she's getting cracked by the dog? Like, how do you find that out?
Child and then come down and then you can.
So get the child first and then read it. I'll follow her in there. When I come get the baby, I'll follow you in there.
Dogs got government trackers.
Davis, we're coming.
Ruger, shut up.
They letting her walk through the house real fast. She cutting corners and everything. DLace gotta walk real slow.
Wait 1 second, you're walking too fast.
Okay. Okay.
So the officer follows Samantha White up to the second floor of the house, and there are already other officers there with the little boy.
You got Twinkle Star in your mocap? Yeah. Can we put it back in your crib? He's just been hanging out. Just.
I want to grab a blanket since
Hey.
I'll be outside.
Hey, buddy.
What's.
Is that what you?
For me, I have shoes. Yes, they're gonna
The
be out by the
downstairs?
door.
Okay. All right.
Buddy, some people came
W
to
baby
protect us
protection.
today.
W baby protection.
Yeah, that is your baby.
Last year.
Can you go in here real quick, please? I don't know if that's gonna mess with anything.
That's a tight crib. I ain't gonna lie.
I just don't want him to run up with the
Grandma,
Oh, yeah, I
not
hear you.
spacious.
He's the little one that he won't let me see, but touch him. Is she up there?
Yeah.
Mama shoe. Yeah, Mama got shoe on, baby. Yeah, all the cars came to protect us.
Oh.
Say hi, everybody. Yeah, there are your mama's cars.
Watching this is really, really sad, knowing what we know now and seeing this child in the video because his mom is going to be arrested and is now on her way to prison. The officer then reads the search warrant to Samantha White.
I'm gonna say all I could think about is, wow, you getting cracked by a dog. Like, your son's gonna grow up and know you were getting cracked by the dog. Crazy.
I'm gonna. Let's begin over here.
Going back to like.
Yeah, right here where it's warm a little. Alright, so I'm gonna read you this. We have a search warrant for the residence, okay? It's gonna be under agency case number with Lee County 24-06919.
Samantha White is standing there holding her son as the officer reads the description of the house in the warrant, but then the officer tells her why they are actually there and what they think they will find.
this is what we're searching the house for. The law prohibits sexual performance by a child controlled by Florida State Statute 827.071 subsection 5 of the Florida State Statute. The firm has probable cause to believe and does believe that the property connected with the above listed crime is currently being contained, stored, or concealed within the following location.
She was recording herself get cracked by a dog? Is that what this is saying?
Direction to locate, and this is just the address of how we got here. We're from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Came from 147506 Mile Cypress, Fort Myers, Florida, headed towards Independence Circle. Basically, this is just the address of how we arrived here. And the following items is what we're going to be looking for. Images or videos of child endangered in sexual conduct defined in Florida State Statute 827.071.
I don't understand.
Hold on,
I can't have you read this right now. Like,
Okay.
I didn't even take it this morning. And
Alright, hon.
I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on. Oh,
We'll talk to. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand? Do you want
I
to?
think I get an understanding.
Do you want me to keep reading, or do you want to look at it yourself?
I'll look at it myself.
Okay, just. Well, we're gonna be looking for electronics, basically. That can. Are you okay? I know this is pretty hard. I'm sorry, I made your money everything.
And that's what I just don't want, because I can't give him to
Okay.
his dad, and I can't give him to anybody that I don't trust, and I just need a minute.
Sad, bro.
The judge was well. I'll just read the final. You can look at it in a minute. The warrant was presented to the judge on the 14th, which was yesterday, who approved it.
So this is an investigation about child pornography, child sex abuse materials. This is very, very serious.
All right, questions?
Oh, she's doing that to her son? Oh, no.
So basically, we're gonna search.
Yes.
As soon as the house is, we're done, we'll turn it back over. We're gonna talk to you about this.
Okay.
Okay. You have any questions for us?
At some point, I need a water and to use the restroom.
Okay.
Other than that.
Yeah, we can do that. All right.
And then at some point, I would also like to go in the little garden area just so I can set him down and he can play.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just coordinate with them, and I'll be right back.
And when can I see my husband?
Were you abused by a member of the Catholic Church in Illinois when you were young? A global settlement may be coming in 2020.
In a minute.
Okay.
We'll talk to you guys.
Okay.
And just for the record, this warrant was served at 7:47 a.m., okay? All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll be right back.
I'll get to Samantha White's husband, John White, in a bit, but first, I'll tell you what police say Samantha White told them. The detective said that White told them that she was fascinated by a male horse's anatomy and would look up videos and photos of it online. White also told the detectives that she looked up videos of horses engaged in sex with other horses and with a woman. Police said this led to other revelations from White that she would only discuss with a female detective. Samantha White then admitted to having sex with her family dog. She decided to try it since the horse's anatomy interested her so much, but she told the detective the interaction with the dog wasn't her thing. Now back to the body camera video.
She started crying, so she didn't want me to finish it. I'm like, we're looking for electronics.
You told her she's gonna have the copy of it.
Yeah, I said this is going to be a copy, and I told her that the judge who authored the search when I showed her the day and time.
Okay. The only other thing we're gonna try is we want to have her come in and get the dog. There's one little section we couldn't clear.
Okay.
So if we can have her.
And you better not be thinking that. You better not be interested in that. You watching this video. You better not. No. That's nasty. Disgusting. No. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that.
Either leave little guy or
She said she does.
she can keep him with her. That's fine.
Fascinated by the horse's
put him on a leash
anatomy?
or let's just find. I'll go with you. Let's just see if we can find a spot.
Like his anatomy. That don't even mean you're fascinated by his dick. That's not even what that really means. But that's really what you were though. That's really what you were. You were fascinated by his dick and how it would feel to get. Why a horse? So you used a dog?
Dead too.
Poop everywhere.
Too late. I don't know how many times I have
She
stepped
even
on
make
everything.
the dog do it.
Ma'am, is there anywhere we can put the dogs besides that space while we're here, or like, are they allowed outside?
I can let them out over here, and then they'll be trapped in there, and nobody
Will
else
that be
will have
okay with you?
access. Yes.
It'll just help
I
us
just
speed
prefer
things up.
me.
No, we
to do,
would prefer
I
you to
just
do it
don't
as
know
well.
how they would react to anybody else.
Are you
yes.
able to help do that right now? Okay.
I sure am. When we go in, is there a way I can just get a sip of water before we do that?
For sure. Yeah, we can do all that. No worries.
I need to use the restroom.
Yeah.
But I'm not using that.
So the detectives go into the house to
Like,
get
what are
the
the
family's
detectives
dogs.
thinking?
Do you mind if she holds the baby really quick while we do that?
I do.
Okay,
I
that's
do
fine.
mind.
No, that's okay.
This will just need to be moved, and we'll have to close this behind us. Otherwise, the dogs will run right out this way.
Perfect. Okay. If you guys want to grab your breach, we're gonna close this.
Yeah, Mama knows a little
Feel you want to?
I don't know.
I don't think we need it.
It's yours.
I'm getting a glass of water before we do
Dang, and they came in armed for this. That mug's draping off his shoulders.
Yeah? Yeah, runny nose. It's okay, baby.
You touching that dog? You getting cracked by that dog?
We're just gonna let them out in the front yard, or
Yeah, so
Hands,
they're
Rocky,
gonna
see
end up going right around this way, and they'll go right in the front yard.
okay.
They are very friendly.
Yeah, I'm not
They
worried.
just
Yeah, we're not worried. We deal with dogs all the time.
okay. One's gonna come right away, and then
Hey, that
two more
gate's
will be
closed,
coming.
right?
Yeah, I think they just closed it.
They're gonna come this way, John?
They're gonna come right.
Hey, boy, hey, boy. Hey.
Hey!
Outside. Outside. Outside.
Go outside! Outside!
No, you guys know not that way. Not that way.
Them dogs running like they know they finna kiss him. I'm done. I can't.
Luna, River.
The three dogs are removed from the house, and now the detectives have to make sure that Samantha White is out of the house.
Right to
Grabbing
Jim.
his bicycle, so I should say.
Yeah, that's fine. You need to use the restroom really quick, right?
Yeah, but
It's gonna be. Is it gonna?
I will be fine for at least another 10 minutes.
Okay.
Can we stay in here or is that a no-go?
She wants to know if they can stay over there. Yeah, I can stay over there.
Or you want to look at Tarzan?
This is lowball disgusting, bro. I ain't gonna lie. This is repulsive to think of.
And then that one comes from.
You know, and he's like, hey.
I did, I cleared it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, it's good. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I got another set outside. Yeah, you
That day, Samantha White was arrested and charged with having sexual contact with animals. She was released the very next day after posting bail. Samantha's husband, John White, was interviewed by detectives. The police report says John denied knowledge of how his cell phone could have ended up inside the toilet bowl where it was located by detectives after John took an extended amount of time to exit the residence during the search warrant service and announcements of law enforcement. John advised there were
Dang.
pictures of himself, his wife Samantha, and Samantha having sex with a canine on his cell phone. The canine involved in the sexual acts with Samantha is their chocolate male Labrador retriever. John
She tried to get a. She wanted. If you wanted some PVZ, baby, all you had to do is call DLace. She went and got a black canine. bro, that is disgusting, bro.
John believes there are
and he got the video, so he like, what, bro? This whole situation is disgusting because he knew about it. He knows.
with Samantha is their chocolate male Labrador retriever. John believes there are 1 or 2 files depicting Samantha engaging in sex acts with their canine sometime in the end of last year, 2023, or the beginning of this year, 2024. John stated that day of the incident, Samantha and he were drinking and the canine was being annoying. John does not recall who mentioned engaging in sexual acts with the canine, but believes it would have been Samantha. And Samantha,
she got drunk. So you're her husband. How do you even allow this? She got drunk. They thought like that. They're actually disgusting. That's disgusting. You got drunk and your real thoughts came out because you was looking up the horse stuff. Ooh, that's a freaky fantasy. That's just ugh.
had apparently told the police that she would sometimes think about this stuff when she was drinking. The report says that John White admitted to recording Samantha engaging in the sex acts with the dog. John White was also arrested and charged with filming and possessing images or videos of animal sexual activity.
He looked like he recorded too. He looked like he participated. It's probably just not on video. He participated
in February of 2024.
There ain't no video.
Then last July, he was booked into the jail again after being charged with several counts of possession of child pornography. At the same time, Samantha White was also charged with possessing and transmitting child pornography. Then earlier this month, Samantha White pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sexual activity involving animals. Those child pornography charges were actually dropped. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison and 3 years probation after her release.
Like, imagine you going to prison there. Where your paperwork? Paperwork say you was getting cracked by a dog. Now they finna overly.
I want to bring in Dr. Daniel Bober. He's a forensic psychiatrist to talk a little bit about this case. Dr. Bober, I've talked to you a little bit about bestiality before. I mean, it's a really touchy, kind of gross subject, but we have a woman here who's been sentenced to 3 years in prison. And when the police,
I ain't gonna lie to you, that's an interesting topic though. Should you have to go to jail because yeah, but should you for an animal? I mean, I don't know. That's actually an interesting topic. Obviously it's wrong, but is it wrong like you gotta go to jail wrong?
police went to her door. She apparently readily admitted that she had a fascination with, certain parts of animals' anatomy. She discussed horses, she discussed dogs, and the investigation kind of unfolded from there. They went there with a search warrant because they had some information about her possibly having some child sex abuse material, things like that. So where does this come from? Where do people develop these fascinations?
So just some clarification on some of these terms. So zoophilia is classified as a paraphilia, which is an atypical or deviant sexual interest. So the zoophilia is the sexual urges or sexual fantasies about animals. Now, that in and of itself, believe it or not, is not a mental illness until there is some level of distress or impairment or some negative consequence. Bestiality is the illegal part. It's the behavior. It's having sex or sexual relations with animals. And so that's the part that is illegal in a lot of different jurisdictions. A lot of these types of behaviors are more studied often in men than in women. But we know that people who have paraphilias very often will have a history of childhood sexual abuse, where they have distorted sexual development and problems with normal boundaries. Very often they suffer from emotional neglect. In terms of mental health disorders, we can see sometimes they can suffer from psychosis, personality disorders, antisocial behavior, borderline personality disorder, problems with attachment, problems with boundaries, obviously no regard for the rights of the animals or the way it's affecting the animals. And sometimes,
see, and that's the thing. Yeah, so yeah, when you think about it like that, animals do have rights. I be forgetting that. I ain't gonna lie. That's the thing. I be forgetting animals have rights. I just didn't think just cause, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think people would try to be fucking by an animal either.
they have problems with impulse control or ADHD. A lot of us have fantasies, but that doesn't mean we have to act on them. So those people have trouble controlling their impulses. They have an inability to exercise restraint, and they will often act on these deviant fantasies. And of course, there are people who use substances, and so the substances will lower their inhibitions, and they will act out these fantasies. They rationalize their behavior. They, basically say, "Oh, this is no big deal. The animal is not being affected by it." They minimize the harm, which of course we know there's tremendous harm. And then a lot of people who have social isolation and have trouble attaching to other human beings will sometimes do this. So there are a variety of factors that are at play that can make this occur.
So the zoophilia is when you're just thinking about it and fixating on it. It moves into a crime and becomes bestiality when you actually act on it.
Correct.
Well, they say she acted on it. I guess she was sentenced for having
she getting right to
interactions, sexual interactions, relations with 4 dogs. And this was discovered, I guess. There were videos of this, some other things. There was some mention about her husband, who also has been charged in this case, but his case is pending. He has not been sentenced yet. The phone being found in the toilet tank, things like that. So, I mean, she's going to prison for 3 years for this down in Florida. 3 years sounds like a really long time. And she's going to be on the animal abuser registry. So she, obviously this had to have been pretty significant for them to sentence her to 3 years in prison. Plus she'll be on probation when she gets out.
Yeah, I mean, harming an animal, a completely defenseless creature. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I mean, I have 2 myself. I think you have dogs too.
Yes.
So for someone like me, I find it particularly offensive. These animals, they're so special. They're really like our kids. And for someone to come after them, it's really a very similar type.
Like, for real. Ooh. Like, yeah. Like, that's a great point. That's a great point. You think of your animals like that's like your little, like some people get animals before they have kids, see if they can even raise kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, she's Yeah, we done with this video though, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm a fuck with you. Can't no part, all you know is kick back, run up on me back, get back, 911. Somebody's son did die, we need police on dispatch.